What is up? What's happening, guys? I'm in Vietnam, in Da Nang. You can see behind me, and I want to talk to you about getting through fears. You're going to go through a bunch of fears on your way to achievement. Whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever you're trying to get at. Maybe it's something in athletics, maybe it's something in academia, maybe it's something in business, maybe just your career, your professional life, maybe something in relationships. Whatever stage you're at, whatever you're going after, is going to have a bunch of layers of fear, and you have to burst through them. And I'll tell you exactly how to burst through them. When you're experiencing something that's very difficult, I'll give you an example. When I was going into my first Muay Thai fight, I was extremely scared, super scared. It was like 2 weeks of just my heart pounding like this, up, nonstop. I remember fight day coming up, and before I stepped into the ring, I just said to myself, you know what, Jonathan? Most people wouldn't actually enter the ring. Most people will pussy out. Most people would say they're sick. Most people would never even think or entertain the idea of going into a fight. So knowing that, get in there. And that's the way you do it. And that's with absolutely everything. I remember going into a STEM degree, having never done any kind of STEM before, really. I had memorized a chemistry test because I have a good memory. I was able to actually get into the STEM degree. But it was basically faking it, that I had any understanding of STEM. And when I was in the degree, I was completely drowning. But I thought to myself, most people would quit here. Most people would not continue on. It's a lot easier to just, live in ignorance. Because what happens is when you join a difficult subject or a difficult degree or get into something difficult, you realize that you're not as talented as you thought you were, or maybe you're not as knowledgeable as you thought you were. It gives you kind of like an idea of where you're at, and that can be very painful. And most people drown that out with maybe drugs, distractions, alcohol, whatever, something comfortable. So you have to say that to yourself. Most people will quit right now. I got to keep going. And I did keep going. And I remember in the STEM degree, when it came to year 3, I told them to give me the most difficult subjects I could find. And I did stuff like computer science, I did stuff like mathematics, pharmacology, stuff I had no idea about. The university told me that I have a high chance of failing these courses because they have nothing to do with my core degree, which was biology. And I was like, well, if you're not going to let me do it, I'm not going to pay my fees and I'll just quit. And so they said, okay. And they allowed it. And I had multiple classes overlapping like all the time. I had sometimes like 2 or 3 classes on at the exact same time, and I would go to like the first 10 minutes or 20 minutes of one class. I'd go to another class, like run across the university to get to the other class, and people would know me as the guy that's just coming in at like all these like weird times, just because I had everything overlapping all the time, because I wasn't supposed to do all these like very difficult subjects all at the same time. Oh, and also at the same time I was working 2 jobs. I just wanted to max out my work ethic. I wanted to see like, am I actually about it? Can I actually work like 90 hours a week, or am I just like taking the piss? And my average work week was like 93 hours. So it was pretty fucking insane. Don't recommend that. But nonetheless, I said to myself, most people would quit here. Most people wouldn't take this on. And that got me through it. Same thing now. I'm actually having a difficult maybe 1 or 2 weeks in business. Not super difficult, but enough to kind of be like, oh fuck, like this is a hard game I'm playing yet again. Because we're trying a bunch of shit. We're building systems. Things are breaking. It happens. It's business. And I thought to myself, Jonathan, like, sure, you're having maybe a difficult moment here, but most people would have quit by now. Been like 4 years since I've had like a normal job. Obviously, like, I got to support myself. I don't have any parents giving me money, nothing like that. But, obviously doing it through business. And I thought to myself, most people will quit here. Most people will go and do something simple, or maybe they downsize or whatever. But you won't. And that's where you're going to get ahead. That's why you can enjoy this kind of life. Again, just, what day is today? Monday. Didn't know that. You know what I mean? Ultimate freedom. No alarm clock. Don't care. In Vietnam, Southeast Asia, traveling the world with my brother. The dream. You get that life by bursting through fears over and over and over again. And most people quit. You keep going. Whatever you're into, whatever you're doing right now, focus on getting through the fears, because most people have them. And any successful person that you can imagine in your field or whatever area you're trying to get good at, they all had the exact same fears as you. The only difference is that they stuck with it. They kept going. So I hope this helps. You got to spend more time on your own. And I don't mean on your own with like a laptop or a PlayStation or your phone by your side or some book or something. Nothing. You need to spend time on your own, away from all these different distractions, away from people. People are distractions too, away from external information, anything at all. You kind of need to be on your own. And I did this exercise about maybe 2 months ago, where I sat down in a dark room and I got a pen and paper out. I heard it from one of my mentors. He was saying it in his Telegram channel, Stephen Bell. And he was basically saying that, you sit in a dark room, you get a pen and paper out, and then you write whatever thoughts come up. And it was one of the best exercises that I've ever done. And I hope to pass it on to you. What I found out was that I was basically distracting myself from the reality of the situation. When I was in Thailand, I'm currently in Vietnam. Those of you that are following the channel will know. And I moved to Vietnam because shit was getting a bit too wild in Thailand. I was just having too much of a good time. I was just drowning in dopamine. The men will understand what I mean. You know, I thought everything was good. My expenses were pretty low. I had passive income coming in. I was just coasting off of it, basically coasting off my past work. I had any number of choices of women that I wanted pretty much. I could have 3 a day if I wanted to. It got to like a pretty crazy, wild situation. And I just realized that all of that was just to distract me from the stuff that I actually needed to do. Places like Thailand, I imagine Colombia is pretty similar. They reveal to you what actually really matters by giving you everything you want. So anything that you kind of want in life, any kind of experience, you can get in Thailand and Colombia for basically nothing. It doesn't cost much at all. And you can feel like you're on top of the world. Here's the thing about that. Most people will get lost in the sauce. And most people will never recover from that. But it takes a lot of strength to move away from the dopamine circus and make yourself disciplined. So then I started basically cutting out certain hedonistic tendencies and cutting out certain vices. I stopped drinking. Drinking was a big problem for me. I was drinking basically every night, red wine, living the high life, eating Italian food. Living good, we'll put it that way. But the thing is, like, you can get lost in that and you can stop progressing as a person, stop developing. Because even when it comes to dating, which is a massive motivator for a lot of men, you can already get basically just being a normal white dude. You don't even have to be white. Just have a smile. If you can smile and you're just a normal dude, you can get a fuck ton of women. Just the way the game goes. That's why you should never listen to anyone that gives you dating advice from Thailand or Copenhagen or Sao Paulo, Brazil. Anyone that's in those places giving you dating advice, come on now. You just have to exist and smile. That's it. You can basically get everything that you ever wanted. So, and I realized that I was just kind of distracting myself with all these different things. I knew I had to do more, but I just reached another comfort level. And you have to cut yourself away from that kind of life and really limit things in your life and start doing things for others and start finding different sources of motivation, because anger doesn't work there anymore. It's just not a place where you can like be fueled by anger, really. And I sat down and I wrote out all these different decisions, and I realized that the people I was hanging around with, the information I was taking in, the networks I was paying money to be in and all this kind of stuff were not serving me at all. They were giving me this outcome, this kind of life. And it was a decent life. Obviously, it was a very good life, but I just don't want that. I just don't want that anymore. I want to do more. I want to give to more people. I came to a lot of realizations. I was like, what am I doing for work? Do I like what I do for work? Do I like this business? I had to reevaluate a lot of stuff. You know, how hard am I working? Am I actually working, or am I just coasting? Okay, and I started writing things out, and I made a lot of key decisions, and I started changing things. And now I'm in Vietnam, getting away from that life, because here, these are incredibly hardworking people, incredibly smart people. Casual dating basically isn't really a thing here. I'm gotten off the dating apps. There's no drinking that I'm doing here, just training, spending time alone, working. And that's been helping me a lot. I was just in the shower there, hence the hair, sitting in the shower just thinking, and I need to do a lot more thinking, and you have to do a lot more thinking as well. And that's the whole point of this video. Spend a lot more time alone and in solitude and away from those distractions. And if you're in a place like Thailand, or if you're on the hedonistic treadmill, put away the alcohol, put away the cigarette, whatever vices you have, and just see what comes up. See what thoughts you're having, see what you're uncomfortable with, because there will be, you know, moments of discomfort there. It will be very uncomfortable, especially the first time you do it. But you have to get it done. It has to be done for you to develop and go to the next stage. Because once you're honest with yourself, then you can see your situation, and then you'll get to live life a lot better. I was speaking to my dad recently, called me up, and he was having some business problems. And I said to him, Dad, you know, your problems are good problems to have, and you should be happy you have those problems. I'm like, at least you don't have fucking horrible diseases, and you don't have massive health issues and big fucking gay shit problems. Because that's a real thing, right? You can actually have like very difficult problems, like very annoying problems that are just like don't make you better in any kind of way, or you can have problems that are good for you, like business problems, right? Business problems will make you better, make you stronger, make you smarter, and make you more resilient, make you maybe a bit more sharp. Business problems are good problems to have. You know, career problems are good problems to have. At least you're on the career ladder, right? At least you're climbing. At least you're moving forward. And so you're having problems. If you were stagnant, or if you were not doing anything, you wouldn't have those problems. But at least you're having those problems, so you should be very thankful. And I said that to him. Anyway, that's the start of the advice today. But the other piece of advice that I wanted to give you guys is that you want to be doing you. You want to be just living your life. You shouldn't be living like anyone else. No one should tell you how to live. In the modern world in 2025, you could do absolutely anything. Like, look at me now. Like, I'm 27, I'm traveling the world. I'm in a fucking hotel in Southeast Asia, in Vietnam. Like, just a couple of years ago, I was in a single bedroom apartment in Ireland. living with like 3 other people at times. So life changes very fast. You can just decide what you want to be at any one point. I started out in piano as like a piano prodigy. I won an international piano competition in Italy, and then I was invited by the Lithuanian president to perform. Then I moved to Ireland, quit that, went into basketball. By the age of 16 in basketball, I had a professional contract offer, scholarship offers and all that kind of stuff already by 16. And then after that, I went into academia, and in academia, I ended up going into STEM. I had no business doing STEM. As I mentioned in a previous video, I took on the hardest subjects I can find and ended up getting the highest grades in the year. Then I went into a master's, quit the master's because they weren't teaching me anything. And then I went into business. And in business, it took me 6 months of hard work to build a 6-figure business. So it is what it is. You can reinvent yourself at any one point. You can change and live whichever way you want to live. Since I got into business, I've tried a bunch of different businesses and reinvented myself in business multiple times. And I have a personal brand now, and I give advice and things like that. Before that, I didn't do that at all. So you can reinvent yourself over and over again. You can pick any kind of life path you want. If you want to travel the world, you can travel the world. You'll figure out how to make money. That's completely fine. I'll be teaching that as well. Maybe there's a link below. I'm not sure. There could be. You can live any kind of life. You can travel. You can fucking work all day if you want to work all day. You can relax all day if you want to relax all day. You can fucking be an actor. You can be anything you want. Anything at all. So just do you. You can have the hobbies that you want. Don't listen to anybody else. I put out a video. I said that basically you shouldn't listen to anybody else. If someone's telling you, oh, your hobby is gay or your interest is gay. Here's the thing, guys. In 2025, you go on these dates or you just meet people in general. Like, there's not that many people with very interesting hobbies or interests at all. Most people are on TikTok, Instagram. In Thailand, you'll go on a date with a girl and I'll be like, so what is your hobby? She's like, oh, I play TikTok. Like, playing TikTok. That's a hobby. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, there's not that many people with hobbies and interests anymore. So if you have anything that you're interested at all in, anything at all, whatever, do more of that and keep it to yourself if you have to. Don't let others poison your dream or poison your interests. You don't need any of that negative energy, because there's always going to be someone trying to put you down. The way they see you is that if you're happy, that means that they're unhappy. If you're doing something right, that means that they're doing something wrong. They're always comparing themselves to you. And you kind of have to limit your time with those people or cut them out. It's just the game. Don't let fucking others tear your joy away.